custom streaming page.
Oh, it's saying that we're live.
Yep.
Okay, then you're live.
I don't see Karen. Karen, are you there?
I'm here.
There you are. Okay, now I see you. I guess we are live.
Okay, have a good one. I'll watch.
Thanks, Jean.
All right.
All right. Oh, there you are. I know you kept disappearing. All right, so we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Gratitude Happy Hour. Yep, it's exciting when you're on the road and things just don't work right. But I'm here with my co-host of the day, Karen Palmer. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
And we're both in California. Yay.
Getting closer and closer.
Absolutely. I will be there tonight where I'm going, which is very close to you. And just so excited. I left out this morning after the morning show, and I've been just kind of taking it easy. I'm not pushing it. I'm not pushing myself. So if I get tired, I pull over. But I'm just so excited to be with you, Karen. I am so grateful that I'm going to get to spend some time with you.
I know, me too. I'm so excited also.
Yeah, and you look beautiful today. I love the pink.
Oh, thank you. It's very cold here.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
Yeah, we're getting a bunch of storms coming in because we got some big rainstorms coming in tonight, tomorrow, all the way till Friday. So we don't get those, so we're really excited, right, but also a little nervous because, you know, we've had a lot of mudslides, and so just keeping the angels on call here.
Yes, absolutely. I'm hoping they get there ahead of that rainstorm. That's my hope.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you're going to do just fine. You're in Blythe. That's not that far from where you're heading.
Right.
You're not too far.
Yeah, I talked to her earlier, and yeah, she thinks I'll get there ahead of the storms too.
Yeah, the storms I don't think are supposed to come in until later tonight. So right now it looks pretty beautiful. Today was a nice day.
Yeah,
today was a nice.
It's gorgeous where I am.
Yeah.
It was a great travel day. You know, it started out with hail in Phoenix.
Yeah, we had hail here too.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
I'm like, what is that? Because it wasn't rain and it was hard, and I looked at it hitting the ground and it was hail.
Yeah, it almost felt like snow.
Okay.
It almost felt like snow.
Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh. Well, Karen, we've got so much exciting to talk about, and I'm so happy that you're here with me today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about peace. You know, you and I, we've always had that connection, haven't we, of wanting peace on earth.
Yeah, to me, it's, you know, peace, love, and kindness are all the same. They're all the same word. I think that sometimes we get caught up in words, and just like I've always said, our word is our wand. But kindness, peace, happiness, all of those things, love, it's all, you know, under the umbrella of our divine essence. And I think that when we understand that and we see that, we just realize that peace and love and kindness is everywhere. And because anywhere you go, you are bringing that vibration with you. So anywhere you go, you start to feel that vibration, because whatever you radiate out comes back to you 1,000-fold. And, you know, once we understand that, and really, I think that a lot of times in my life, that the times that I feel that I have learned the most about peace and love and kindness is when I thought something was missing. When I thought something was missing, it was something that I wasn't radiating. It was something that I was not aware of how abundant I am in all of those frequencies. So when I look for love outside of myself, then I find that that's where I find that the world, like the song, you know, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the truth. The world does need love, sweet love, but every one of us is part of that jigsaw puzzle that needs to give that love, to receive that love, and to know that when we give that love to the world, that it comes back to us 1,000-fold. And that's one of the things I think that has been the biggest lesson for me in peace is, you know, when we are constantly focused on what's wrong and how can we have peace? How can we have peace? Well, first of all, go within and find that peace first. Don't keep looking for it in others. Don't keep looking for it in our government. Don't look for it in, you know, your family. Look for it in yourself. And when you find that inside yourself, realize that there is an overabundance of that peace available, and that you are the well, that you are like a fountain of peace. Terry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we froze there for a minute. I do hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think that we're like a fountain of peace. Uh-oh, I think we lost. We're playing in this funny field today where we are just hoping that this is coming across, and hoping that everybody is able to hear us and hear what we're talking about. I'll just see when I think she's coming back in. Maybe she got booted out again. It's strange sometimes how things happen with the internet, and it's another part of that piece of the puzzle where we have to, you know, just trust that there's divine order and there's divine timing. And when we have technical issues, we just need to have more patience with ourselves and with each other. And I think that the internet is a very big gift for that, for us humans.
So true. Can you hear me, Karen?
Yeah, I think it's
Okay,
I mean,
I'm back.
yeah, when we have issues with our internet, when we have issues with, you know, anything that's going on, whenever we have any kind of feeling of something isn't right, that means that we have stepped away from our divine truth, and we are moving into the illusion of the separateness, which is not true. And so, you know, I think that that's one of the greatest gifts that peace can offer us, is understanding that everything is an opportunity to have more peace. Everything that comes in our field is an opportunity for us to choose peace.
Right. And we decide how we're going to respond or react.
Yeah.
You know, so when it knocks me off the air, I just kind of smile and wait. I'm like, I'll be back. Yeah, we can, you know, it's the little things just really aren't that important. So little glitches, little, you know, things that happen here and there. It's like, look at the big picture, because that's just a second in time. And, you know, if it's supposed to go on, the show will go on. And, you know, it's not going to be a big disaster. If we get knocked off, one or the other of us gets disconnected, we'll be back. So
Yeah.
I love that attitude. And if we can adapt that attitude with everything in life, it's like, you know, we have an argument with somebody. It's not the end of the world. You know, we will probably still speak to that person. We'll probably forgive, and eventually it'll just like smooth over, but it's not the end of the world. And
And
so
even
many
if that
people are so
person,
caught up.
right, and even if that person doesn't talk to you again, that's okay too, because that's not the end of the world either. And we can
Right.
we can pivot, and we can love, and we can forgive from a distance, like in this illusionary world, in this, even what we're dealing with physical distancing, it's an
Mhm.
illusion. And it's really been such an incredible opportunity for all of us to really, really see that nobody ever leaves your heart. Nobody ever
Right.
leaves your heart. And so it's only in your head, it's only in your mind. Even if you're not talking to somebody, even if you haven't seen somebody in years, even if you haven't, talked to somebody in months, it doesn't matter, because that connection is what I find has been so amazing. And I wanted to share this on the show because I thought this is such a great opportunity. And I hope that people will come back and listen to this over and over again whenever they feel, alone, whenever they feel lost, whenever they feel there's some kind of distance or some kind of discord or conflict in their life, because it's really all up here. It's only in your head. And when you get into your heart, the heart space is where everything reminds us of the truth. And we can actually quiet I call it now my gentle, kind mind. I can quiet my gentle, kind mind instead of my loud, screaming inner critic, When we have an inner critic, which is okay, we've all had that. We've all had that experience. But now is the time where we get to choose how we respond to outside circumstances, and you and I have been chanting now for over 240 days. And we know that we can change the energy in ourself, in our true self, in our essence self, in our authentic self, and nothing outside, no circumstance, no person, nothing needs to change outside of us. It's just
Right.
that once we really get that, it's so powerful, because it's really, that to me is true inner peace.
It really is. Yeah, there's nothing outside of us. That's sometimes such a hard concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the part that we have to wrap our human brain around.
Right. And
But
that's where
once
we come back, and that's where we have to be gentle with ourselves, because,
Mhm.
there is that inner child that is still believing that it needs something to feel safe. And this is why most people are going through as much of their turmoil that they are right now, because they don't know that they have an inner child. They don't know that they have a subconscious and a conscious level of understanding. So many people are just kind of going through the motions. And we who have had that awareness have an opportunity to not judge them and not make them wrong, but to be able to help them to, and in our own way, see them as complete and healed and whole and perfect, even though they're wearing a mask that is still part of an illusion,
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
hard part, I think, that we have as the human self, the human,
Mhm.
you know, like I have these little love glasses that my daughter got me, and I put them
I
on.
know, I love them. I love those.
And when I do that, it's funny because I started doing this just as a new way for me to have a new perception. So when I get ready to do a meditation, I put my love glasses on so that all I see is love. And I start with that. And then when I go into that place of oneness, which is the real experience of who I am, it's just coming back to home to, you know, realizing that I'm the one who stepped away. I'm the one who is seeing somebody as not perfect, healed, and whole. So I'm the one who needs the correction in my mind. So that's the first thing I think is what we can do is center in and drop into your heart, so that when you drop into your heart, you know, I like to say stop, drop, and rest. So stop is
Right.
self take over, please. Drop is get my hands to my heart. Get me out of this spinning hamster wheel that I'm on right now. Drop. And rest is just to rest in that stillness, in that truth, in that space that's beyond the words, beyond our human understanding even.
Mm-hmm.
I live in that
Exactly.
space so much now, Teri. I live in that so much now. I find it everywhere. Especially when I'm with the animals.
Mm-hmm.
And just walking my dog, I find myself skipping along and feeling like I've just entered into heaven. I've just entered into, you know, this time-space reality of oneness. And I find that more and more, I'm just living there. I'm not going back to the illusion anymore.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm just wondering how many people out there, we do have quite a few people watching, how many of you find yourself so caught up in the illusion, and then how do you pull yourself back in? Like, I love Karen's techniques. Karen, I use wait a lot. What am I thinking? What
Yeah,
am I thinking? And that brings you right back into the present moment, doesn't it? That's
always.
the whole thing with that one. It's like, am I thinking, doing the stinking thinking of what's behind me? Or am I projecting that there may be something terrible coming down the road?
Right.
Or am I just present? Just being present, like you said. So
Yeah.
I'm just curious if people will type it in the comments. I'd love to hear if there's techniques that you use, or do you just like go with the flow and let those thoughts kind of take over and show you the illusion, because that's what we
I
do.
really do the stop, drop, and rest all through the
Yeah.
day. Like, so my morning starts early because I have puppies early in the morning. I'm a dog trainer, so I help a lot of older people who have ailments and aren't able to walk their dogs. And so a lot of the time I am helping get the dogs exercised. So, you know, I jog with them, I skip with them. But when I start to be able to just really be present with the animal itself, with the spirit of the animal, not the physical form of the animal, but the physical connecting force that is beyond the physical. So that's stop, drop, and rest for me with animals, especially. And I think I've talked to many people about this, is to really have that deep spiritual connection with the animal in that moment, because dogs especially are very, very fully present. They live in the moment. They aren't thinking about like their doggy puppyhood childhood, you know, they aren't thinking about their, you know,
Right.
they aren't thinking about, you know, what happened before, and they're not thinking about what's going to happen next. They're right there with
Right.
you. And so I think that that's one of the things, is the best technique that anybody can have is to be very, very present with whatever is in front of you. You know, stop, drop, and rest in every situation. So you hear a bird singing. This is another thing I absolutely love. When I hear a bird singing out in my backyard, I go right outside and sit under the tree and I listen, and I stop, drop, and really rest in that oneness with that bird, because I feel like that is our calling. You know, that's our calling us home. It's bringing us, if you see a beautiful butterfly and you are outside and you just happen to be out and you see a butterfly, that is oneness in itself. That is bringing you into, pulling you back into your heart space. If you feel that way when you see a cloud going by, it's the same thing. It's always stop, drop, and rest in every single moment. And if you find yourself frustrated or irritated or sad or disappointed, realize that you have not stayed in this moment. You've wandered off into, you're imagining about the past or you're imagining about the future, but you're just in your vain imaginings. You're not in the real world anymore. This is what people, you know, think of when they say, well, you're not in the real world, Karen. You just see everything airy fairy and you're not in the real world. Well, that is one perception. That is one way of looking at things, but science has proven differently. And, you know, with heart math and with the unified field and with Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton and, you know, Greg Braden, all of these amazing people have created the science to show us that there is this real world that I'm talking about, that is real, that is, right. When you are being called into your backyard to listen to a bird sing, you are being called into the unified field. Now you have a choice. You can stay in the illusion of the separateness and you can go, oh, that's a nice little bird out there. Or you can go and sit under the tree and feel the oneness of that beautiful bird singing to you.
Right. And it's you. And this is what Dr. Wayne Dyer taught us. When we say, I am, that is that bird. It's that cloud that you were mentioning. It's whatever we're seeing, that's us.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing the beauty in something, you're seeing the beauty in yourself.
Yeah.
And I love that concept. And he really brought that home to me when he did that. And, you know, I would be irritated at something or somebody. And then I just stop and say, I am that. That's me. Yeah. I am that. And it just makes it so easy then to go into the oneness once you can do that and really feel it and really believe that you are that. I love that. We've had several comments from people. I love Kimberly Wilkinson's comment. She says, it's all in God's timing. He knows our footsteps before we know ours.
Definitely.
I love that comment. And she says, we are the most impatient people. So true. You know, we really do rush and rush. I love that song. There's a song I bring you up a lot. I rush and rush until life's no fun. You know, and that's the truth, isn't it? When we're rushing, when we're not staying present in the moment, life is not fun at those moments.
No.
And I choose fun.
Yeah.
I choose to be happy and joyful and enjoy every moment as it comes.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, as I said, those stop, drop, and rest is another, when I get really, sucked into the illusion or things are going outside of me, that I feel that I'm being pulled away from my own stillness. And that's my own choice. I'm choosing.
Right.
It's nobody else's fault. This is what most people will find fault with somebody else, and will find,
Yeah.
we'll say, well, it's because of this or it's because of that. But I'm choosing. And when I choose, the best thing that I wanted to share today is the violet flame. Now, the violet flame is instant. It's the stop, drop, and rest tool that we have. It's our eternal tool that is available to everyone on the planet. And so I do that instantly as soon as something comes up, especially if I have a projection on somebody else. I'm projecting something that I don't want to happen to them. And I catch it right there in that moment. And I say to myself, I love the Muppets. I love the Muppets. The Muppet Show.
I do too.
Yeah, the Muppet Show. Like we said, we love fun. I have to make things easy and fun for myself to remember stuff. And so anything that I'm thinking that I have no control over, that is going to come and go, is phenomena, right? So phenomena is like the clouds passing. I'm the sky, and everything else is a cloud just passing by. And so if I remember that in that moment, I just go, mana, like phenomena, mana. And I just say, I'm just not interested. I'm not interested in blame and shame. I'm not interested in projecting. I'm not interested in that anymore. And as soon as I say that, I invite the violet flame, and I invite in that moment. It's almost like a 1-2 punch, like I realize, okay, first of all, okay, a lot of times we have different opinions or a different point of view from somebody, say our sister, say our mother, say, our child. So we have a different point of view, and we have a different opinion. But we have the opportunity and the choice to have no opinion, to have no point of view.
Yeah.
And that is where our freedom lies. So what I do is, as soon as I have an opinion, as soon as I have a judgment, as soon as I have a point of view, I realize, oops, I'm projecting. And I say right in that moment, transmute by violet fire, all causes not of love's desire. I am a being of cause alone. That cause is love, the sacred tone. And then I feel that energy. I hold that energy, and I feel Saint Germain. I feel the energy of Saint Germain, placing that in my heart, placing that violet flame in me, in my heart. And I feel that flame, fire, like blazing, like the sun, freeing everyone, blazing like the sun, and freeing everyone. And in that knowing, in that certainty, in that truth, I'm not interested in any more illusions. I'm not interested in any more false beliefs. I'm not interested in any more old stories or old programs. I just don't have interest in it anymore. And it's really one of the most powerful things that we can do for ourselves. especially in the moment. Catch yourself as soon, and we're so tricky. Everything's so easy in this world. It's so acceptable socially. It's so acceptable to be angry, to be frustrated, to be upset with somebody, especially if somebody is supposedly doing something to you, or has stopped talking to you, or has, pushed you out of their heart. You have the opportunity there. You've called that experience in. You've called it into you to help you to see how powerful you are.
Yeah.
And when I realized that and really started to bring the violet flame into all of my relationships, and all of my relationships, I realized, very easily, understandably, all of my relationships, because they're human relationships, because they're human, relationships, they're relationships that I have in my human condition, they are conditional.
Right. Exactly.
But what I can, but
what a great point.
So what we can do, though, in that understanding is that's part of the experience in itself of the human challenge, is having unconditional relationships. That's what our true essence, love and light self, our, one self, our true self, does not want expectations or conditions in our relationships. And so we get the opportunity to transmute by violet fire.
By violet fire. I love that.
And like I said, I think I've said it a couple of times on the show too. You don't have to say the whole poem. You don't have to say the whole poem if you don't want to. Just transmute by violet fire. Transmute by violet fire. Transmute by violet fire. Anytime anything comes up that you can feel yourself wandering away from the oneness, tell yourself in that moment, I've wandered away from the oneness. I've wandered away, and I can bring myself back. There's nobody else who can.
Yeah, just wait.
But if you want to blame somebody, and you want to shame somebody, and you want to guilt somebody into believing that you need that person in order for you to feel safe, or for you to feel whatever you need to feel for the oneness. Because a lot of times, I'm talking couples, when we're in a relationship, a couple relationship, a husband and wife, or a wife and a wife, or a husband and a husband, or, whatever the relationship is, when there are humans involved, when there are humans involved, there are conditions and there are expectations, but there doesn't have to be. It's a choice.
Yep. It is a choice.
And it also is our freedom. It's so societally acceptable to call somebody your better half. It's so messed up.
Right.
It's so messed up. I brought this experience to myself. I believe that, and I have healed these old programs that I believed that women were inferior to men. that was the way my dad brought me up. That was the way I was shown by example in my family. My grandmother, my great grandmother, you know, I saw it over and over and over again. But now I have the opportunity, and I have broken that cycle completely for myself and for my daughter and for the next 7 generations to come, because I know she will not be seeing anyone as inferior, because no one is inferior to us and no one is superior to us. We're all
exactly
equal.
we're all equal. Yes, we are all equal. Yeah, that's
I even ask it in the audience, have you ever felt inferior to anyone? Have you ever felt superior to anyone in this human condition?
that's a
Or
great
do you feel
question,
that you're
because
completely equal with everyone? You know, like James
yeah, I
Van
would love
Praagh.
to hear.
James Van Praagh. You know, for years I watched James Van Praagh and I listened to him as an evidential medium, and I thought, I can do that. I have that same exact gift. What makes that that he is better at doing that than I am at that? And that was a snap. That was a get out of your hypnosis, get out of the belief that somebody else has something that you don't have. You know,
Right.
and many people will
And
do that with going to, you know, get card readings, tarot card readings, or, you know, looking outside for the answers.
right.
And then they'll get confirmation and they'll still question it. The angels have said to me over and over again, you humans love confirmation, but you always complicate what we give you. And that's, you know, that was the truth for me with the angels. I was so, you know, I was so gifted. I had such an amazing gift that I was taking for granted, and not believing in myself, not believing in my gift, but looking for outside confirmation. And other people, does that resonate with you? Does that make sense to you? Does that, you know? And when you do that, you lose your own sense of yourself, the real self, the authentic self. And little by little,
Yeah, and you're giving your power away.
Little by little. And then little by little, you wonder, why am I so insecure? Why do I feel so insecure? Why do I feel so unsafe? And those are your snaps, because you are in a false sense of security. And when we're in a false sense of security, the universe will wake us up. The angels will wake us up. They'll snap their fingers. They'll flap their wings. They'll give us all the messages and signs, and they will catch us up. They will help us.
Yeah, and sometimes, Karen, those lessons are not so easy to handle, are they? Sometimes they're pretty difficult lessons.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we look at things that happen and we look at it as things happening to us, and they're really happening for us, to bring that, to help us snap to and come back to the present moment. That's what it is. But so many look at it as, oh, I'm being punished. Something's happening to me. I'm a victim. If we can just lose that thought of the victimhood, get out of that mentality, we'll really see the reality of what's going on, and see that everything in our world is working perfectly, and it's all conspiring. The universe is conspiring to help us, not to hurt us.
And
I
honestly,
love the title of Gabrielle Bernstein. She has a book called The Universe Has Your Back.
Yeah.
And I always go to that. I always think that thought when things start looking like they're out of control and there's something chaotic going on. I'm like, no, the universe has our back. We just have to get on with the program and realize that and stop thinking otherwise.
Yeah, there's a divine order. And when we take that moment to step back and just step back into the stillness, stop, drop, and rest. Again, I will always keep telling you to come back to stop, drop, and rest. Then you will be able to see there is a divine order and a divine timing. And we in our human condition can't see it. So we have to go beyond our time, space, reality, which is our heart space, which is the center of the universe, the center of all that is. That's our heart, you know, and it's so simple, really. And like the angels have said to me over and over again, don't complicate this. It is simple.
Yeah, we've got a lot of audience interaction. I love this because we asked people to comment and to let us know what's going on. And Julie Kiss, I love you, Julie. Thank you for being with us. Julie is in upstate New York. And Julie says, growing up, my dad was very much like the powerful one. He had all the power. We all had to listen to him. Yeah, we've had those caretakers and those that are like influence us and guide us, don't we? But it's coming into your own power and realizing that nobody has power over you.
And
that's what we're talking
also,
about, is being more aware.
Yeah. And seeing also that father was also very insecure. In order to have that kind of power and that kind of, you know, that's an insecure person. That's somebody who's insecure, who needs to have power over others. And so when we, you know, this is what has made me been able to forgive and really, really forgive and love my father for all of the experiences, even the painful ones, even the abusive ones, everything. I've been able to be grateful for his awareness that I could have more compassion and understanding, because I see that he was just doing the best that he knew how with the awareness that he had. And when we as a society, as a collective conscious, move into, like on Thursday, I will be interviewing our amazing women of peace. One of them is our beautiful Teri Angel. And I will be talking about how women are stepping into this role of equality through the lens of peace, which has never been done before, really.
Right. Yeah.
On our planet, it has never really been done before. Yeah. The women's movement, the feminist movement, was through power and strength, and they were coming at you. But this, women as equality, women who are coming at, we're coming from the divine feminine now, from a place of equality and respect and dignity. And we're coming through the lens of peace. And so this show is going to be amazing that we do on Thursday. And I'm just so honored because, you know, when we step back and we really look, I love that, Julie. Thank you so much for sharing that. What a beautiful, beautiful. Take a moment, Julie, today to just step back. Stop, drop, and rest from the view of your dad, from the position of where he was coming from, and how he needed to feel that power in order to have his own false sense of security. And see how you can find forgiveness through that sense of understanding. Because that's what I did with my dad. I didn't think I could forgive him. I never thought I could get to the place where I am right now. I mean, I have complete unconditional love for my dad now. The first time in my entire life in this human experience, you know. And I think that it's such a gift that we give to ourselves and to them. It's their freedom too.
Yeah, absolutely. Isabel says, no more victim of anything. I love your attitude, Isabel. And we have someone with us, Tori Jones, has found the show. Tori, I'm so glad that you found us. And Tori says, I've been falling apart and just need support. Well, you're in the right place. You're right where you're supposed to be. There's no accidents or coincidences. So you're right here with us for us to surround you with love.
When we're falling apart, it's the parts of us that we've been hiding from that are falling apart, and they're coming into the light. Those parts of us that we've been hiding from everyone else and from ourselves are what falls apart, because they can't continue in the illusion any longer. And so they come into our awareness so that they can be loved and accepted as they are, you know? So when you feel yourself falling apart, know that it's truly, truly the parts of you that you've been hiding from, the parts of you that you don't want other people to know about. And that you've got to bring those parts of yourself into your heart so that you can love and accept them without conditions, without expectations. Because those parts of us, they need our love and acceptance. We think we need it from somebody else. We think we need it from outside sources, but we don't. It's all in our own heart.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we love you, and please just stay in a place where you can get support, because we don't want you feeling alone.
And know that you're never alone.
And a big truck going by.
Yeah, just know that you're never alone, that you are never alone, and that experience is, you know, bringing you into your own heart. You know, it's bringing you back to home, to your heart. Your heart is your home. And once you have that security, that real divine security, that real divine that divine perfection, that divine protection, that divine safety, then nobody can take it away from you ever.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Carol Allen is with us. Hi, Carol Ann. I love you so much. And Carol says, I had a friend who was not allowed to have her, I think, hair cut because her husband forbade her. Eventually, I got her to see she had dominion over her person and her body. Carol, I love that. Thank you for being such a friend and for being such a compassionate light worker in the world. I'm so happy that I know you, and I know that probably what you did was live by example, because that's what many light workers do. You don't have to be out there, blowing your horn and doing all of the frontline stuff. Just living by example is such a great thing to do, to show others that, we can get our power back if we've given it away, if we've allowed it to be diminished, our light to be diminished. We take it back. We make that choice. So thank you for sharing that, Carol Ann. I love that.
And just
story.
Like Teri said in the very beginning when we were talking, everyone is a mirror to you. Everyone is a mirror. So if you have a hidden belief that you are unworthy or that you are inferior, to your husband and you're afraid that he might leave you if you were to get your hair cut, then your essence self, your true self, is going to help you to wake up out of that illusion. And so, and it doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't, we get to choose.
Right. No.
We get to choose. I like things to be joyful myself. I like joyful. So I like joyful and playful.
Me too.
So when I'm getting a lesson and I feel like I'm getting a lesson or a blessing, I always say it's a lesson or a blessing. It's never punishment. It's a lesson or a blessing. It's never punishment, because if we go into the victim mode or the belief that somebody is doing something to us, then we're giving our power away right in that moment, right in that second. And so if I just shift and change my perception in the miracle, right? That's the miracle. If I just take that moment and say, you know, is this a blessing or a lesson? Because a lesson to me is, okay, I need a correction here. There's something that I need to see differently. How can I see this differently, right? That's usually the first place I go is, okay, there's something here that I'm not seeing, and I am open to see this differently. And then as soon as I do that, then things start to make more sense, and I start to see the patterns and the, you know, where it comes from. And mostly,
Right.
you know, if we just stay in this moment, there's peace in this moment. There's always peace in this moment. There's only anxiety.
There is.
There's only anxiety in the future. There's only regret in the past.
Yeah.
So if I'm regretting or I'm having any anxious feelings, I'm not here. I'm not in this moment. So if you can just catch it that quick, that's the stop, drop, and rest. Because if anybody takes anything away from this as a golden nugget, if there's anybody who's listening to this that is really, you know, feeling like, wow, I hope I remember what she said. Stop, drop, and rest in every moment. If you hear a bird, if you notice a child giggling or laughing outside, if you are at the grocery store and somebody smiles at you, if somebody gives you a dirty look at the grocery store, if somebody's having a tough time at the post office, and you can send them that feeling, that radiating feeling of love, of acceptance. I think acceptance and love and having no expectations is real freedom in this world.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's become my way that I start the morning now. I start the day with my thank you, thank you, thank you, with my gratitude, with all of my, you know, being focused on the trees, being focused on, and then I set that intention for the day. Help me see the evidence of the oneness today.
Right.
Everywhere.
I love that. Yeah.
Help me see the
love
evidence.
that.
Bring the evidence on, you know, bring it on. Bring it in all different ways. Let me see it in all the different ways that it can come to me. All the different ways. And I keep a little notebook. I actually have a little notebook of Isn't It Awesome? It's called Isn't It Awesome? It's my little
notebook. Love that.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
And I keep track of the evidence, and I pay attention when things happen, like miracles happen over and over and over again throughout the day.
All the time. Yes, they do.
And that's that oneness.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. Mm-hmm. It
That's it.
is. I love it. I love it, Karen. I have one more comment that I want to read, and then we do have to wrap it up. The comment is from Grace Isis. And Grace says, one insight, Wangari Maathai worked through a lens of peace to fight poverty. And she did this with the Plant a Tree movement. So
Yes.
thank you, Karen. Thank you for being more peaceful and bringing more peace in. And yeah, it's so awesome. And Tori has a response for us. Tori says, so true. I learned to get out of my anxiety by small acts of kindness. And when people look like they need a hug, I would offer one. Oh, I love that, Tori. And I hope that you have felt the love and the support here with us today. And take that with you. Take it with you from the show. And just like you were saying, go do an act of kindness for somebody. Sometimes when we get out of our own mind and we get out of our own stuff, and we look at what else we can do to help somebody in the world, it makes a huge difference and turns us around. It really does.
And be gentle,
But Karen,
Tori. Yeah, be gentle with yourself, Tori, and realize whenever you feel anxiety, you are not in the moment. And bring yourself back. Stop, drop, and rest, because anxiety is not when you are stop, dropping, and resting. Anxiety can't happen. You can't have anxiety and peace at the same time. So choose peace. You can't have anxiety and peace at the same time. You can't complain and be grateful at the same time. So choose grateful. It's impossible. The brain can't handle it. The brain can't handle it.
It can't.
And so we have to start realizing that when we are, myself included, choosing anxiety and telling ourselves, this is just who I have anxiety, I have anxiety, I have anxiety. The more you tell yourself I have anxiety, the more anxiety you're going to experience. But when you feel the anxiety and you don't label it even as anxiety, you just say, I have this sensation that is pulling me away from my peace. How do I go back to my peace? Oh yeah, what did Karen say? Stop, drop, and rest. Anxiety is your GPS, you know, it's your GPS. So when you feel anxiety, it's telling you you're going in the wrong direction. You've veered out of the oneness. You've stepped away from your truth. You've stepped away from who you really are, and you're moving into these false parts of yourself that you believe are true, that you have, you know, when we have this opportunity to catch that in the moment and realize that I just have no interest in the person that I believed myself to be, that person that was insecure, that person who was inferior to others, that person who had low self-esteem. That person isn't here anymore.
Right.
She was only in my imagination.
You've come a long way, baby. I love that. And, you know, Karen, I have a mantra that I use every day, and it's only love and light is welcome here. Anything else, Nat? Just go to another door. You know, it's only love and light.
Another blessing, Tori, that you can use is Archangel Michael. Lord Michael to the left, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below. Archangel Michael, be with me wherever I go. I am love protected here. I am love protected here. I am love protected here. And then deflect away any energies that are not for the highest good, and amplify all energies that are for the highest good. And that's another quick fix, right? Those quick fixes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have so many tools that we can just pull out of that toolbox at any time and just find them. Just find the people that are going to share with you the things that we use all
And
the
Tori,
time.
come in and chant
that
with
can
us
help.
tonight when we chant. We'll be chanting tonight at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard, 9 o'clock Eastern. So right here on this channel, we'll be chanting, and we'll be on day 241.
Yes, we will, and it'll be fun. We always
And
make
chanting
things fun.
totally helps with anxiety, because you can't have anxiety when you're chanting because you're busy chanting.
Exactly. Yeah. So Karen, we do need to wrap this up and get off of the channels, but thank you so much for coming on to Gratitude Happy Hour with me today. I appreciate you. You are so beautiful and such a bright light in my life. And I can't wait to give you a real hug.
I
It won't be
know.
long now.
I know. So close,
Yeah.
so close. But
Yeah.
remember, everyone, just remember, don't forget, and always, always feel in your heart that there is no separation, that we're never alone, that we can call in the support and the love and the acceptance that we desire with all of our spiritual helpers, with all of our master teachers, all of the ascended masters, the archangels. We are never alone, never, ever, ever alone.
Absolutely. Karen, please tell people how they can find you if they want to talk more about the things that you mentioned today, and follow your work that you do.
Well, you can find me on all of social media. I'm Mindful Media Mom or Miss Kindness. And you can also go to the website. It's globalkindnesstv.org.
Awesome. And you can also catch Karen and I at 9 o'clock, like she said, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, on right here on this channel, Enlightened World Network. We will be chanting, and we do it every night. We chant to break through all barriers and remove all obstacles, to break through that illusion of the separation and find our oneness with each other. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. So much love to every one of you, and take good care, and we will see you later. Namaste, y'all.
Namaste, y'all.
Bye, everybody. And we'll see if our Jean can take us out of here and get us off of the live.
Bye.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
hon.
Jean.
Okay. It won't say stop. Let me go down here.
Okay. No, it's up at the top, Jean, where it says
I
it's
know.
live. It's
And it says
in
view
the live stream. Oh, I got it. I got it.